While growing up in the 80s, we had lots of great toys that got their own animated series. And, well, in 1984, we actually got the Transformers as an animated series, but we also got this one as an animated series, though it started out as a mini series before getting its own series. And it was the Transformers' rival competitor, the Gobots. So, let's talk about their show, Challenge of the Gobots, in this TV log right now. This is a Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews TV log. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Noel, the Big D to you, and this is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews, back with another TV log. Today I'm going to be talking about, well, maybe kind of a rare gem of an 80s animated series, but however, it's kind of managed to find a new audience. Now it's back on the air and it's been, well, streaming on one of WB's fast channels, but I'll talk about those in a little bit. The year was 1984, and well, that was the year when we got lots of great animated series. And of course, I mentioned one of them was the Transformers, but that's not what I'm going to talk about. I was thinking of revisiting that, but because I kind of messed up because I did that as a TV log and now a Saturday morning TV log from which it started out like that. But this is different and what have you. This did start out as a mini series though, but then became its own series the next year. And it was a competitor to the Transformers themselves, formed of good guys and bad guys, or should I say, robots. And this show is factually similar to the Transformers in a way. So now, without further ado, I bring to you Challenge of the Gobots. Challenge of the Gobots was an animated series with sci-fi action and adventure. It premiered on this day, September 8th, 1984. Now, although it originally started out as a mini-series, that's what it did on this day, and then became a full series the following year. The show is based on the Gobots toy line by Tonka Toys, and the series was originally produced by Hanna-Barbera. Now then, Now, the challenge of the GoBots. Now, it dealt with two opposing forces of transforming robots from the planet Gobotron, the heroic Guardians and the evil Renegades. The Guardians were led by Leader 1, while the Renegades were led by Psykill. The characters rarely had guns, instead shooting energy blasts out of their fists. The female robots on the series, such as Crasher, who was another renegade, were built like the males, but with some distinguishing female features. But, well, the GoBots' origin of as Go beings accounted for the presence of genders among the robots. The series generally focused on a small number of robots from each faction. The the Guardians, Leader 1, along with his allies Turbo and Scooter, versus Sidekill, leader of the Renegades, plus Crasher and Copter, who were virtually ever present, with other characters seeming to rotate in guest star roles. Gobots had no clear division between the two factions. The characters had no identifying insignias or markings to indicate their allegiance, although it was indicated on the toy packaging. Likewise, there was no commonality of design within each faction. The only theme to a side was that anything that turned into a monstrous looking robot or vehicle was a renegade. Now for the plot. In the series' backstory, thousands of years ago, on planet Gobotron, there lived a race of human like organic beings called Go beings. Civil war erupted on the planet when the power hungry terrorist group known as the Renegades arose, led by a madman dubbed the Master Renegade, who waged war against the peaceful Guardians. When a renegade sabotage operation inadvertently resulted in a gigantic asteroid colliding with Gobotron, the natural disasters that resulted from the asteroid's impact pushed the Go beings to the verge of extinction. However, the genius referred as the last engineer saved his people, taking his experiments to replace parts of his own body with mechanical substitutes to the ultimate extent and placing the brains of the Go beings in mechanical bodies. Now they were the Gobots. The GoBots possessed an additional ability after being run through the device named the Modifier. The GoBots' bodies were able to transform to other vehicles. Excuse me, I almost said iron. Sorry. His work done, the last engineer intended to retreat to a pre-prepared workshop elsewhere in the galaxy. But the Master Renegade stole his ship and escaped in his stead. The last engineer placed himself into suspended animation beneath the surface of Gobotron, while above, the war continued to rage between the Guardians and the Renegades, now all encased in Gobot shells. In the last quarter of the 20th century, the planet Earth became involved in the conflict between Lear One's Guardians and Psykill's Renegades. During one of these battles, one of Lear One's lieutenants, Turbo, became severely damaged. Unwilling to let his friend and teammate die, Lear One began his quest to find the legendary last engineer. Lear One found the person he believed to be the last engineer, but Lear One had unwittingly released the Master Renegade, though he did repair Turbo to gain the Guardian's trust. The Guardians later found the last, engineer, the true last engineer, who was instrumental in frustrating the alliance between Psykill's Renegades and the Master Renegade. The Master Renegade later escaped the custody of the Renegades and plagued both factions, nobly attacking the Unicom colony of New Earth. So that's all I could tell you of this story. Anyway, now the show started with as a mini series for 5 episodes in a story called Battle for Gobotron. I've seen all 5 parts of it. The first starting with Battle for Gobotron, Target Earth, Conquest of Earth, Earthbound, and the Final Conflict. Some of those stories would later get put on record and cassette with a read-along book. I actually had the Battle for Gobotron story. Anyway, now in every episode, the Gobots formed other Guardians and some of their human allies managed to take on Psykill and his renegade minions. And they're supposed to have an ally in a former NASA scientist named Dr. Braxis. And there's so many of them. There's too many to mention though, but yes. Anyway, after 5 episodes, the series returned the following year and had an additional 60 episodes that were produced and aired. I've seen most of these episodes, but not all of them. After 2 overall seasons were produced, the mini-series and the full series, the series ended on December 13th, 1985. Now, this actually aired as part of the weekday version of the Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera, though I was mostly familiar with that block beyond weekends. But this was one of the shows that aired on weekdays. The other being a new version of the Jetsons, which actually returned the same year. After this, it was later rerun on the USA Cartoon Express, which that's where I got to see the series at times, since we didn't have an affiliate that actually carried the Fantastic World block until 1989. Now then, however, I can tell you that to this day you can watch the series of Challenge of the GoBots. It's currently airing, unfortunately, in the late night, early bird hours on Sundays, I believe, on the new Me TV Tunes channel. Check your local listings if you have that in your area. You can also find episodes streaming on certain dates on WBTV's Cartoon Rewind Fast channel, which you can find on Freevee and maybe some other streaming services. Check your listings of Fast channels if you have that, and if it's on there, watch it. If you like the Transformers series, I think you'll really like the series. Various episodes of the show have been released on Video Cassette and Betamax by Vestron Video under its Children's Video Library label. Now, after the series had ended, a few months later, there would be be a feature-length film called Gobots: Battle of the Rock Lords, which I can't recall, don't seem to recall seeing, but I've heard of it though. Which was released a little over 4 months before Transformers the movie, which came out in August of that same year. Clips from the show were also used in Errol Morris's Fast, Cheap, and Out of Control. An additional GoBots storyline was later released on the Transformers Facebook pages, Ask Vector Prime and Renegade Rhetoric, with GoBots characters also appearing in storyline for fun publications, where Renegade Rhetoric serves as a second season to the show in form of text stories told from Psykill's perspective. That's all the adaptations. Now, besides that, the series is also on DVD by the Warner Archive. You can get the original miniseries, and then later on they released two separate volumes. The first set had the first 30 episodes, and the second one had the remaining 30 episodes. I'm not sure if you can get those for a reasonable price, but if you can get it on physical media if you like. Now, actually, the the second set, well, also contained the 1984 Ruby Spears television film RoboForce: The Revenge of Nazgar as a special feature. Now, of course, we have lots of great voice acting cast. Now then, for our voice acting cast, we have Lou Richards Jr. voicing Lear 1. Now, of course, also right at the same time when Challenge of the GoBots got to premiere as a full series, he also voiced the titular character in Hanna-Barbera's Galtar and the Golden Lands. After this, he voiced Flash Gordon in Defenders of the Earth. He also appeared on the short-lived on the family sitcom spin-off Gloria, as well as the rarely remembered Suzanne Summers comedy series She's the Sheriff. Voicing Turbo is Arthur Burghardt, who is well known for playing Jack Scott on ABC's One Life to Live. He also voiced Devastator in the Transformers, as well as Destro, Stalker, and Iceberg in G.I. Joe. Voicing Scooter is voice god Frank Welker, who is certainly no stranger to working with Hanna-Barbera. He also voiced several other characters as well. Now, for our bad guys, we have Bernard Erhard voicing Psykill. Now, he recently had appeared in the film Firefox, as well as the cult classic film Deathstalker, which that was pretty cool. I saw that. I watched that film on Tubi. Let's see now. Voicing Coptor is Bob Holt, who is also no stranger to working for Hanna-Barbera. He had recently lent his voice to the Great Grape Ape, as well as other great characters, ranging from just about lots of Hanna-Barbera shows, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, he worked numerous others Hanna-Barbera shows like the new Tom and Jerry show and let's see, Dialma, Dog Wonder, and the Skatebirds, and many other Hanna-Barbera series. He also did works on other studios' works as well. Let's see. And voicing Crasher is Marilyn Lightstone. Now, all these people did really good jobs. Now, for other characters, now for the human characters, I'm only going to focus on the ones that we mostly were familiar with. Matt Hunter, who was one of their allies, is voiced by Morgan Paul, who most people would know him for playing Dave Holden in Blade Runner. Voicing AJ Foster, was originally Candy Brown for the miniseries and then Leslie Spites for the regular series. And voicing another young well, ally of theirs, a young boy, Nick Burns, is Sparky Marcus, who recently voiced Richie Rich for the studio, as well as the voice of Dorno for the Herculoid segment on Space Stars. And voicing Dr. Braxis is Rene Auberjonois, who also was at the time voicing the Sod in the Super Friends franchise at the time, and he was also on TV's Vincent as well. He also went on to work on numerous other cartoons and also appear on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Now then, let's give you a look at some of the characters. Here's a little promotional art of the Guardians, the three main Guardians with their human allies, and there's Dr. Braxis. You can see this old dude. Oh, and as a matter of fact, that was actually used for the cover art for the first volume of the actual series. Here's a look at artwork. There's Nick getting ready to ride off on scooter and being chased down by Psycho and his renegades. One of those is one robot I did not mention. I kind of call him a recurring character, and that's Fightor. That's the one you see with the black reddish looking one. Yeah, the one that's right beside him, the blue, kind of bluish looking one, is Coptor, and you can see the one that's with the wheels there is Psycho, and the one with the pink face is of course Crasher. So now you know about Challenge of the GoBots. I would recommend you give this show a watch. Now, like I said, you can find it on the Me TV Tunes lineup, and you can also find it on the certain days on the WB TV Cartoon Rewind fast channels. So again, check your listings for this, okay? I think you'll really like it. You can also find it on other streaming services, but you'll have to buy it like on Amazon or Apple TV. Oh, something I almost forgot. I forgot this show also later got shown on Sci-Fi as well. I almost forgot. Sorry about that. Not just USA, but Sci-Fi also aired it. Unfortunately, the Cartoon Network nor Boomerang re-aired this show. As much as I hate to say it, oh well. But I've seen most of this series already, and I think it's a really underrated show. But I think it's pretty cool though. If you like the Transformers animated series from the 80s, I think you'll feel right at home with Challenge of the GoBots. You'll really like it. So, what did you think of Challenge of the GoBots? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to support my channel. Make it grow and make the views grow. Tell your friends all about my channel. Have them and tell them about me. And if they like what they see, they can subscribe to me. And we'll have another TV log coming up in our next video, and it'll be Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. So if you like this, consider checking out these other videos. In the upper left-hand corner is the Saturday morning TV log I did on Galtar and the Golden Lands. The upper right-hand corner is the Saturday morning TV log I did for another robot show, which actually premiered in 1984, and that's another underrated show, Mighty Orbots. Or if you would like, maybe you'd like to check out some robots that can become an even bigger robot. Check out my TV log on the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the TV log, then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.